We're looking at homework from section 4.1. This is question number 17. Complete parts A and B below. The number of dogs per household in a small town. So we're given a probability distribution that has the number of dogs numbering from 0 through 5, and then the probability of finding a household with that many dogs in the next row. Part A asks us to find the mean, variance, and standard deviation of the probability distribution. And Part B wants us to interpret the results in context of the real-life situation. So let's start with Part A, and we want to find the mean. For the mean, we have a formula. Mu equals sum of x times probability of x. So what that means is we're going to take each x value, each number of dogs, and multiply it by its probability. So that's 0 times 0.673, 1 times 0.207, 2 times 0.080, 3 times 0.020, 4 times 0.013, and 5 times 0.007. We multiply these out, and we get 0 plus 0.207 plus 0.160 plus 0.060 plus 0.052 plus 0.035, and we add these together, and we get 0.514. That's our mean. It wants us to round it to one decimal place, so that's 0.5. For the variance, we have a formula for that. There's actually two formulas for the variance. The easier formula is that we take each x and square it, multiply it times its probability, and add those all up. Then we subtract the square of the mean. So it's going to look very similar to what we saw when we found the mean. We start by finding the sum of each x squared times its probability. So 0 squared is 0 times 0.673, 1 squared is 1 times 0.207, 2 squared is 4 times 0.080, 3 squared is 9 times 0.020, 4 squared is 16 times 0.013, and 5 squared is 25 times 0.007. Once we add those up, then we subtract the square of the mean, and the mean we found was 0.514, so we'll have to square that. When we multiply out these numbers, 0 times 0.673 is 0, so we'll exclude that. Then we get 0.207, 0.320, 0.180, 0.208, 0.175, and then when we square the 0.514, we subtract away 0.264196 for a grand total of 0.825804. So that's our variance. Rounded to one decimal place is 0.8. Well, once we know the variance, how do we find the standard deviation? Finding the standard deviation, once we know the variance, is always the same. We always take the square root of whatever the variance value is. So for the standard deviation, we take the square root of the variance, which is sigma squared. Don't take the square root of the 0.8. Take the square root of the entire decimal, 0.825804, because we don't want to use rounded values to compute the next value. It's what's called propagation of error. So we always use the most accurate value we can whenever we're doing our computations. When we take this square root, we get 0.9087375859. Rounded to one decimal place is 0.9. So those are our answers for Part A. For Part B, we're trying to interpret the results. So our average was 0.5, and our standard deviation was 0.9. So a household on average has about half a dog with a standard deviation of 0.9 dogs, about one dog. And so our final answer here is option D.